Rachel really enjoys chicken sausage.
I do, but some of the ones that you find in the stores can have some wonky ingredients and be very expensive.
Today, we're going to show you how to make your own.
Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like product reviews and we do recipe videos. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we come out with another delicious recipe, you'll be alerted to it.
So today, this is a long name. We're going to make a chicken Parmesan herb sausage.
It's got a long name, but I had to insist we turn this into a video because it was featured in a recent vlog, and it was so delicious. I mean, we just have to have the recipe so that everybody can make it.
So we love sausage. Obviously, we've been making a lot of sausage videos, but sausage, especially when you look for clean ingredients, can be very expensive. We used to buy those Adele ones all the time.
All the time.
Really expensive. So today, we're going to show you how to make this one. I actually have one because we actually have them. What we do is we're going to show you 2 different things you can do. A, you can pre-cook them just like this one, and then all you got to do is heat them up. Or you can actually store them frozen, and then whenever you want one,
just cook it.
They're good to go. But look at that. I mean, you can actually see all of the herbs and the Parmesan cheese. And like I said, they're already pre-cooked. And so you just stick them in an air fryer for a couple of minutes, and they are
perfect.
Delicious.
And they're very buttery. Because sometimes chicken sausage can be very, very dry.
Not these. So we're going to show you how to make this. Now, you don't need all of the equipment that we have. We're going to show you how we're doing it. Really, all you really need is a food grinder.
Right.
And if you can get a local butcher to grind it for you, you don't even need that. But if you have a KitchenAid, you can go ahead and use the KitchenAid attachment for the meat grinding aspect. You can use it to stuff your sausage. And you can also turn this into just plain patties.
Patties are great.
You want to go over what we need?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, first thing we obviously need is...
meat? Chicken?
Chicken.
Yes.
Right? So, we've got 5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You want to use the thighs because you want the fat. If you use breast, this is going to be the driest sausage you've ever made in your life. So, you need to use the thighs. From there, what we need is this. We need some tarragon. We need some chives. We need some oregano. We need some parsley. Now, I am going to say with all the herbs, you can do it with dried, but it's not going to be nearly as good. Go to the store, buy the packages of fresh, or go out to your garden if you're fortunate enough to have an herb garden.
Right.
You really want to use fresh. It's a world of difference. We need some garlic. And then we need some Parmesan cheese. And the last thing that we need is butter.
Butter.
Now, this is one of those places where I'm going to tell you, use the better butter if you can afford it, because it's a major flavor component inside of the sausage. So I've got the better butter, but it's chilling because you need it cold. I only had 1 package left. But if you can afford the better quality butters, use better quality butter because, again, it's a big flavor profile. So we're going to put all this away. We're going to pull out our grinder and show you where we're going. Okay, we have our 1 horsepower Meet Your Maker grinder here.
That name gets me every single time.
I know you love it. This is over the top. You don't need a 1 horsepower unless you're going to do a lot of meat grinding.
Right.
The 1 horsepower just allows it to go super quick. It's a number 22, so we're going to be able to grind all of this meat in just a few seconds. A 500 watt one is plenty big enough. We really like Meet Your Maker because lifetime warranty, really good customer service. I'll leave a link for it down below. They do have a 500 watt one, which I don't know what the current price is, but on Black Friday it was less than $100.
Yes, great deal.
So we're going to use 2 different size grinders. We're going to use the large grinder and the medium size grinder. We're going to start off with the large one. And we just put in our cutting plate, and then we put on our grinder. What I really like about these dies is you can't screw it up.
Oh, I like it.
It only goes in one way.
I need that.
So we'll go ahead and put this over a bowl. And again, as with all sausage, you want to do this quickly.
And cold.
And it wanted to be very cold. So I've had this meat in the freezer for about 20 minutes. And that's going to allow us to do everything very quickly. And this is where the 1 horsepower really comes into play.
Here it comes.
And the 1 horsepower is done that quickly.
Boom.
So like it literally was less than a minute. So we're gonna go ahead and get everything out, and then we're gonna move on to the next stage. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to add our herbs to this. So I'm gonna leave a link for the recipe down below. You're gonna notice that everything is in grams because when it comes to making sausage, you really wanna do it that way. Again, the best thing to do is just go buy fresh herbs. For us, pretty much every one of them is what that package is. So we're gonna start off, we've got some parsley. Actually, that's the tarragon, but that's okay. Chives. And if you don't have chives, you can actually use scallions as well. Fresh oregano. Fresh parsley. So like I said, the first one was actually tarragon. And then we're using 25 grams of fresh garlic. Don't use the garlic that comes in the oil, which is what I normally use. Here, you really want to use fresh. If you are curious what 25 grams is, again, it goes by like how many cloves. That's why I'm not telling you how many cloves. This is what 25 grams of garlic looks like before you squeeze it. You could chop it up or you could run it through a garlic press. So now what you want to do is by hand, or if you have a meat mixer, which we do, but it's just a pain to put it on video, you want to go ahead and just toss this and get all of those herbs incorporated. We actually forgot 2 very important ingredients.
Right.
Okay, 45 grams of Redmond's real salt, or any other salt, but Redmond's is what you should be going.
There is no other salt.
And then 8 grams of pepper. I'm using white pepper. You can also use black pepper. I like the flavor profile of white better. Now that that's all mixed up, we're gonna pull our grinder back over. And again, if you don't have a grinder, it's gonna be, you would have already gotten it fine ground from your butcher, so you wouldn't have to do this. We're going on the next grind plate, and that's gonna really also infuse some of these herbs in here. Now we're gonna go ahead and just turn this on. So now what you're gonna do is, to your bowl, you're gonna add half a pound of butter. You're gonna go ahead and give it a good mix. And the reason I'm waiting for the butter until the final grind is to just really be able to not have to worry about too much with emulsification and stuff and gumming up the machine. And then I'm gonna add 8 ounces or half a pound of cheese. So the cheese is basically gonna be 10% of the meat mixture. So if you're doing 5 pounds of meat, a half a pound of cheese. If you're doing 10 pounds of meat, you're gonna use a pound of cheese. Okay, one more time through the grinder, and this is gonna really go ahead and mix up all of our ingredients.
One more time for the cheap sheets.
Okay, now that we've got all the meat ground, all the herbs are incorporated, what we're gonna do is we're just going to go ahead and use our hands, and we're gonna mix this really well. Now again, if you have a meat mixer, which we have, but I'm not using it in the video because a lot of people don't have them, it would be a little bit easier because you just put the meat in there, you crank it, and you keep going. So what you wanna do is really blend everything, start breaking down that butter, all the fat, and you want to get to the point where it's very sticky and tacky, so that when you, and we're almost there already because we've run it through twice, but you want to be able to hold it on your hand upside down and have it stick.
And not come off.
Okay, before we load it into the sausage stuffer, I want to show you, this is what the meat should look like. It should be a nice consistency. You're going to see some of the butter, the cheese. This should not be like a hot dog where you don't see a difference.
Right.
But if you put your hand in there and try to reach it up, you'll see how it just sticks to your hand. It's not going to just fall out. That's the consistency we're looking for. Now what we're going to do is we're going to load it into the sausage stuffer. Okay, so everything is loaded up. Last thing to do is put on our sausage casings. We are using a 29 to 32 hog casing. Now, again, make sure your horn is nice and wet. And what I really like about the hog casings is they don't break that easy.
Right.
And so we're just going to go ahead and load up the horn.
Now, this is the time where if you do not have a stuffer and you just want to make this into patties because, like, you know, you're not interested in making it into sausage, instead of putting into a stuffing mechanism like we have here, you're just going to make patties out of it. You can use a score and store like we've used to make different hamburgers. You could just form them into patties and freeze them because they're good to go. They're good to cook.
Now this, because of what we're doing and we're going through a wide horn, is going to crank very easily. Okay, so just go ahead and give it a crank, and then you're going to use one hand here to just kind of hold it. And again, you can do this with one person. Some of it comes down to, you know, whatever sausage stuffer you have, and again, you can make patties with it.
This is way easier to stuff than the meat sticks.
So again, it comes down to what is in it, as well as like how wide are you making the sausage. The wider the sausage,
the easier it is to crank it.
Okay, slow down because we're at the end here. So go ahead and give it a crank backwards once. And we'll go ahead and tie this off.
Okay, so what if you don't use all of those casings in there?
So what you do is you take out the water, and then you cover them in salt, and you put them back in a bag.
Oh, wow.
And they will last years.
Really?
Yeah, so the salt is preserving them.
Any, like, a size of salt do you prefer?
I just cover them in red mineral salt. Just cover them up.
Doesn't matter if it's coarse or fine ground.
No, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're at the end. We can't get any more meat out of this machine because there's an elbow on here. Now, there is a little trick. You can buy these things, which I got from Walton's. I'll leave a link from down below. And these are like little squishy eggs.
Balls.
And you put them into the piece and it will push out whatever sausage is in there. Or you can do what we're going to do, which is just turn it into a patty. So we're going to pull off a piece of this. And since there's not a lot left, there's no sense in trying to save that. We're going to go ahead and tie a knot here. So I've got these little things that I got from sausagemaker.com. Again, not affiliated, but look at that. So you just push it in there.
Comes out.
You can get all the things out. And it also comes with like a little brush to clean this easily. Now what we do is we take this piece out. And in the bottom, in this horn, there's a bunch of sausage. So just pull that out. Reach in here. And pull that out. And you've got about a half a pound of meat here.
Right.
So we can turn that into some patties. And again, what you would do is you would take these eggs and put them down into that hole down there. Like you lift it up and then it pushes it out so that the only meat that's left is whatever's in the horn.
Right.
Next thing we need to do is turn this into lengths. So decide how long you want the lengths. 6 to 8 inches is good. So I'm just going to kind of use my finger here. And what I do is I hold it there. We don't twist the first length. I go to the next place where I want to go. I pinch. And again, some people can do this very quickly.
Right.
I can't. So I turn. So on the 2 pinches, you turn about 3 or 4 times.
Nice.
Then we go down here. Again, pinch. Go down to the next place. Pinch. And you can see how the hog casings is not like a sheep casing.
No, very easy to work with, a lot more forgiving.
It doesn't like break as easily.
Yeah.
And the more you twist, the tighter the sausage is going to get. So if you find an area where it seems very loose, just twist it more.
Okay.
Okay. One more step.
Yes.
Go ahead and you're going to use a sausage poker and we're going to just poke all of the sausage. I'm curious. Let's see what we got here. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 sausages.
And dinner.
And dinner.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Because this would be about 3 or 4 more. So again, you're going to run 22, 23. Depends on how long you make your links and stuff. But all of these sausages are less than $10. Now think about how much do those like Adele's or other fresh chicken sausages cost. And again, you know the ingredients in this.
And I can do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Right? Because I have the equipment, so I can just continue making it.
So what we're going to do now is we just take our sausage poker and we go ahead 3-4 times in each sausage. That gets some of the air out.
And the aggression inside of your body out also. Okay, now what?
Now what we do is we put these in the refrigerator overnight to dry. So what we're going to do is when you put them in the refrigerator air is going to dry out the casings. That's going to make them much better for storage. And once they dry, what you can do is go ahead and snip each sausage individually. And from there, you can either parboil them, you can sous vide them, or you can just go ahead and freeze them fresh like this and they're ready to go. So we'll do that tomorrow morning. Okay, sausages are in the refrigerator. We will go ahead and chill them tomorrow. I just wanted to show you the chicken that we had left over. We turned into patties, and this is what they look like. And again, we didn't really put them in a hamburger thing or anything like that. We literally just pushed them into a patty, and they really come out very nice. Now, I put them in the air fryer, and so we're going to go ahead and just taste one of them. The butter, as soon as you cut into it, it's amazing. It just like oozes out. You taste it. It's not just like adding fat. It's adding so much flavor. So we'll go ahead tomorrow morning. We'll pull out the sausages. We'll cut them into pieces, and then we'll show you what we do after that. Okay, sausages are done. They've been sitting in the refrigerator overnight, and I have to say, we're getting better at this.
They look much more uniform now than they did when we started. I mean, you probably have some that are a little bit, bigger or
it's
smaller.
Usually the last one on the strand.
But these look much more store-bought. Mm-hmm. Well done. And these are flavors that I really enjoy purchasing from the store.
So at this point, our sausages are done. They've been sitting in the refrigerator overnight, and the purpose of that is you can see how the skins have already dried out. And now, one thing I did not show on camera, that once you've done that and the skins have now dried out, you can go ahead and separate them. So you just take a pair of scissors and cut each one, and now we have links, because you can see how it's like it's dried out on the end. You don't want to do that until the next morning, otherwise all the stuffing is just going to come out.
Right.
But at this point, we're done, so you have a few options. Number one, you can pre-cook them so that they're already cooked and then go ahead and store them.
Right.
Or if you want more of that fresh sausage kind of thing, you can just vacuum seal these up and put them in the freezer, which is what we're going to do. We're going to go 4 to 6 per package, and then they're ready to go. But I'm also going to pre-cook a few just so that they're already cooked, kind of like the store-bought ones.
Now, if I have them just like this and they're fresh and I'm thinking I'm going to eat them in the next couple of days, like how long would you recommend just having this in the refrigerator like this?
I would say 4 to 5 days, just like if you're going to buy chicken or something like that. After that, stick them in the freezer. Remember, we're not using any nitrites for preservative or anything like that. Now, one thing I did want to mention, though, take a look at this and think about cost-wise. How much do those, like, Adele's sausages cost?
They ain't cheap.
And they're actually smaller than this. Mm-hmm. But you have to look at, they're not cheap. We've got, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, plus whatever was left in the sausage stuff at the end. I was going to say,
we had patties at the end.
So, about 24 sausages for the cost of just really your spices and the chicken. And if you go buy chicken thighs that have the skin and the bones and then use that for other stuff, you're talking about $1 a pound. So this is literally $5 worth of chicken. $5 worth of chicken.
Really
maybe
can't go wrong.
$7 if you take out the weight of the bones and stuff like that.
And again, I can't stress this enough. Even if you're not wanting to put this into casing and make sausages out of it, you can use our recipes to make patties.
Yeah. So here's what we got. I already went in the sous vide.
Oh, nice.
And basically pre-cooked one. So what I did was I cooked it to an internal temperature of 160 degrees, and then you could vacuum seal these up, and they're pre-cooked.
More like a hot dog or a ready-to-eat sausage at that point.
Then I took one. It's been sitting here, so it's a little bit shriveled up now. I cooked it in the air fryer the way you would like it. So think about grilling it or something like that. So we're going to go ahead and try these. We'll go ahead with this one first.
Thank you very much. Ready to dink it?
Dink.
Dink.
Wow.
The chew, that snap is absolutely fantastic. And then it is very moist on the inside, and you're getting such a good herb flavor. Really feels like this time of the year when you want more of like an herbed, taste to things.
The butter just brings flavor. The spice blend is perfect, and that little bit of Parmesan cheese.
Yes.
It's not overwhelming with cheese, but it brings flavor. You don't have to add the cheese, but I really feel like it just brings a flavor to it.
It is delicious. In fact, I'll tell you what else I would do is like make these, chop up a little bit of it, mix in with some cauliflower rice to really have, like almost like a, a holiday side dish. Because again, those herb flavors are, you just nailed it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and first of all, so these are basically, you could pre-cook them and it would be just like this. So these are cooked. These are ready to go. Now, if you want to just pull them out of the freezer, defrost them, put them in the refrigerator, and then throw them on the grill for a couple minutes to warm them up. You can throw them back in a sous vide. You can put them in the air fryer. And that's the only difference here. But now these, if you pre-cook them, you can leave them in your refrigerator for a good week.
Yeah.
Again, or you can freeze them and
thank you.
And if you vacuum seal them, but look at that.
Just so moist. Sorry, kids. Dink.
Wow.
Fresh out of the sous vide is something magical.
Yeah.
I know that basically you're cooking this way so that
you're not getting the grill, the char grill on the outside.
But it's so buttery. Really, really buttery. Like you taste it even more having it this way.
So we will leave a link for the entire recipe card down below. And again, you can do this with as much equipment or as little equipment as you have. If you have all of the different sausage equipment, I think you're going to get the absolute best results. But if you only have the KitchenAid piece, you can do this. You can grind up your own chicken and do it for less than $1 a pound of meat. You can also do it by just going to the store and buying pre-ground chicken. And do it that way. After that, like sausage stuffing, again, you can use the KitchenAid piece, or you can simply turn it into nice little hamburger-style sausage patties.
Yeah, the point is, it's doable and it's delicious.
So if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at our most recent videos I'm going to put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we make something delicious, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.